stock today. Hi, morning everyone. Welcome back to my live broadcast. As promised last week, I mentioned I will do a US general election series, right? Begin from today. Every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, it will be about the US general election, the influence of the US general election on the stock market. Okay, and today is the first talk of this series, right? So the topic today, I will talk about Trump or Biden, who is elected as president. Is it really that important? Okay, I will talk about firstly about the US general election. What investors really care about? Is it just the result? Who is elected as the president? Okay, and then secondly, I will talk about two stocks that worth your attention. One is Pfizer, and the other one is Singapore DBS. Okay, later I will give you some detailed analysis about these two stocks. And then the third part will be about the individual stock analysis, right? So get your individual stocks ready now. Okay, so before we begin, I still need to remind you that all the stocks mentioned in the video are for the purpose of demonstration and education, no recommendation. Investors should be aware of the risks involved in stock trading and take full responsibilities for their own tradings. And then about the general election, right? So it's just roughly 15 days I think it's 12 days left. So today is already 19th, right? 19th, and then the election comes 3rd November, right? 3rd November. So that's how many days you can calculate. So 19, so 11 plus 3, 15 days, right? 15 days left before the election, and for trading days we've got only 12. So is it, yeah, 12 trading days, because we check. So for this week we got 5 trading days, next week another 5, that's 10, then plus Monday, Tuesday, and then Wednesday, that's Monday, Tuesday. So Tuesday will be 3rd November, right? So we've got only 15 trading 12 trading days left, and altogether 15 days left before the general election. So what ordinary retailers care about actually is not who is elected. Rather, they care about the end of the uncertainty that the market is now in, the end of the uncertain market situation, right? So currently, the market we have checked, it has been within the support level and the resistance levels for the indexes, right? So if we check again, I think you're already very familiar because I talk about almost every session for the US market. Now the situation is below we have a strong support, and then above we have a strong resistance, right? We have resistance above around the Tai Chi signal, the high price. For S&P 500, that's 3,566, and then for the support level, the yellow lines is around 3,398. So the price would be fluctuating within the support and the resistance levels, right? And considering we only have 12 trading days left, Means maybe before the election, the result come out, the price might continue fluctuating within the levels because this is the uncertain state we are in. Before we really get the result, then the uncertainty remains, right? So after we really get a result, actually retail investors would know what to do next. You can ask yourself, are you also waiting for the result to decide whether or not you would buy or sell US stocks? So many of of Homely members, as far as I know, they told me that currently they are looking on because they are waiting for the result, right? Because before the result come out, people feel uncertain. But once we got result already, then that's already certain. Then then the retailers would see where the market is at that moment, and then will know whether or not they can enter or they should still continue waiting, right? So for retail investors, actually they are just looking on to wait for the result, the certainty. They're waiting for the certainty, and means the end of the uncertain situation now, right? And then actually the opinion of the retail investors is not that important. We say the market movement mostly is determined by those big boys, right? The big institutions. Then the opinions of the big institutions that matters, right? So it is the opinion of the big boys that matters. And then how do we know the opinion of the big boys about the result of the general election? So here we have a big money poll. This poll is based on 137 professional fund managers across US. Okay, these represent the big boys, right? So what they think about the result of the US general election, that matters. And then according to the poll, when it comes to which candidate as president would be best for the stock market, 75% of these 137 fund managers, they believe that if Donald Trump win, that's best for the stock market. Okay, 75% believe Donald Trump win, that's the best for the stock market. Only 25% believe if Joe Biden wins the election, that's the best for the stock market. Means the big institutions, they're thinking that Trump wins would be better. And then how about for the economy? Which candidate as president would be the best for the economy? So 60% of these big boys, they believe Donald Trump win, that's the best for the economy. Only 40% believe that if Joe Biden wins, that's the best for the US economy. Okay, so means what? If the result comes as Joe Biden wins, right? So if that in that case, maybe the market would drop first for at least a short term, and especially if Joe Biden wins and then Donald Trump would disagree, and it happens in history. The current president, disagree with the results of the election, then there might be some further argument, and then it will take some other time before the final result come out. So if really Biden wins on 3rd November, and if Donald Trump disagree with this result, it's possible that the final result of the US president might come maybe until end of this year. It's possible, right? Then in that case, for retailers, they will be greatly upset by this news because the uncertainty has to remain for even longer time until end of the year. So either for retailers or for the big boys, they will feel upset about the results here. So maybe the market would drop first, at least for short term. But to tell you the truth, if the market really drop, that is healthy for the market. Okay, the correction in September, we say this is somewhat a significant correction, but it didn't last for that long time. If the market can drop again after the general election, so that would be the best for investors in the stock market, because after another correction, the market will be at a lower position. It will be healthier to buy again, to consider buy again. Okay, and then if Donald Trump wins, that fits the expectation of the big boys, right? Or let's say most of the or majority of the big boys, expectation of the majority of big boys, and then it's possible that market might hit a new high. Firstly, for short term, because currently the price is already very close to the previous high, and we check the Tai Chi signal just now, right? So the Tai Chi signal is around the previous high. If Donald Trump really wins the election, stimulated by such news, market might hit a new high first. It's possible, but it doesn't necessarily is a good thing. It's not necessarily a good thing for the stock market, because the market would be quite high. If it hit a new high, we don't want to chase after the rally. So maybe we still need to consider looking on for a while, right? Because we don't want to chase after the rally, right? And the market movement has its own regularities. Even if people feel optimistic or satisfied about Donald Trump winning the election, still, if the price is already at a very high position for the market will find a way to drop first. Maybe there would be some other news come out by then, so that the market would drop first. Then maybe in future would continue going up. Why am I keep saying that the market might continue going up in future? Because according to the same poll, so when it comes to what really would influence the market in the long run, actually it is the economy recovery, especially for now is the COVID-19 vaccine. That is more important than who wins the election. Okay, so who wins actually is not that great influence in the long run for the US market and for the global market. What matters more is how speedy, how fast the economy can recover, and how soon the COVID-19 vaccine can come out, right? And according to the poll just now, 60% of the big institutions, they believe that the vaccine would come out the first half of 2020. So first half of 2020, and then 25% of the big institutions, they believe that the vaccine can come out the second half of 2020, because this poll was produced in September. So that's why at that moment, 25% of the institutions, they think the probability that the vaccine can come is not that high, right? So only 25%. But if you have been monitoring the news, and then we know that Pfizer, right? So is likely to apply to the FDO for COVID-19 vaccine emergency use authorization the third week in November. Okay, the third week in November, if really everything turns out to be good, the result turns out to be good, and then we will soon have the safe vaccine in use, and it's really possible that before the end of this year, the vaccine can come. So the probability that the vaccine can come by the end of this year becomes now higher than in September when the poll was produced, right? And even the most pessimistic opinion is it says that 14% believe that the vaccine come the second half of 2020. It's not a very long time until it's not a very long time to wait, right? So the worst to expect is the vaccine can come out the second half of 2021. So means it's not a problem for the economy to recover little by little, right? So means economic recovery is for sure. If if we are optimistic, maybe the vaccine come by the end of this year, then the economy can recover at a faster speed. Even if the most pessimistic opinion, then the vaccine come second half 2021, still the economy would begin to recover next year, right? So means the prospect is bright. So that's why we say the market would still in the for the general direction would be a upward in future, right? Because economic recovery is a sure thing. It's just a matter of time. Earlier it comes earlier, or it comes a bit later. Even if it comes a bit later, it's not that late, right? Next year, second half of next year. Okay, so that's why we see the market, the general direction upward. After the election, in the end, the U.S. market would continue going up. But for short term, we need to talk about when it comes to that point of time, what the concrete situation is. Then we can know for short term what the performance might likely be, right? Okay, so that's for you see, this is the poll based on the 137 professional fund managers, right? So they believe that 54% of these institutions believe the market will be bullish in the next 12 months, and 33% believes it's neutral, and only 13% believe that in future, 12 months in future, the market would be bearish. So means majority still think that the future is bright, just like what I have mentioned, right? People are optimistic, especially the big institutions. They are optimistic about the future of the economy, the future of the stock markets. And then 50% of these institutions believe that currently the market is fairly valued, and 44% believes it's overvalued, and only 6% believes undervalued. Means that in future, if there is another correction, maybe relatively speaking bigger correction for medium term, that would be the best, or would be healthy for the stock market, because after that, then more and more people would believe the market fairly valued. Now still 44%, not a small amount, right? Actually a big amount of the institutions believe market now is overvalued. So if after correction, then I believe most of the institutions would believe the market is fairly valued. So then the value in future would be a great one after a healthy correction, right? So means that our chances in future would be great. Okay, so if chance is great in future, then the next thing is how we can catch the opportunities, right? And then today I already analyzed for you that the results of who is elected as a president, Joe Biden or Donald Trump, it doesn't matter that much. It has some short-term influence on the market, right? But in the long run, the economy recovery and the COVID-19 vaccine has the say, right? For the long-term performance for the stock market. And then, but it doesn't mean that who is elected, it has not so much influence on some sectors, some industries, because different parties, Joe Biden or Donald Trump, they represent different parties, right? So different parties, they have different policies. So the political policies, they have a greater influence on different industries. Okay, so means tomorrow I will talk about the influence of the result of the U.S. general election on different industries or sectors of the stock market. Okay, so that's for Wednesday, right? Because I mentioned Monday, Wednesday, Friday would be the general election series. So tomorrow will be some other topic, and then Wednesday I will talk about the influence of the U.S. general election on different industries and sectors of the U.S. stock market. Okay, and then now I want to go to some individual stocks. The first one I want to share with you is Pfizer, because I mentioned just now, right? So Pfizer is likely to apply the vaccine emergency use authorization as early as the third week in November, right? So if really the results of the third phase trial prove the safety of the vaccine of Pfizer, means that it will be a great news either for the general market, for the economy, or for this company itself. If it is successful, then it might be the first company to have the safe and effective vaccine for COVID-19. That would be great. And Pfizer already made it clear that they want to make profit. They tend to profit from this vaccine. Means this vaccine will not be provided to the public for free. They will charge, right? So means the profit of Pfizer would be great in future, right? If the vaccine really proved to be safe and effective. Now we're still waiting for the result, right? So it's also possible if the results negative, the vaccine proves to be not safe, a very serious side effects, then for Pfizer the price might turn downward, maybe great drops, right? So now we still need to wait and see, but the prospect is good, and the probability that the vaccine is safe and effective is relatively speaking high, right? Because now it's already the third phase of the trial, right? And as far as the information we get from now, it seems like quite a high probability that the vaccine can be proved to be safe and effective, right? And but still we don't have 100% certainty. Still need to wait and see. And then when the news came out last Friday, I cannot remember very clearly. I think it's either last Friday or last weekend. The news came out that Pfizer is going to apply for this authorization for emergency use very soon, right? And then we have the first recycle last Friday because people feel optimistic about the news. And then first recycle, and we see for Pfizer retailer already gone completely, and now the price is above the white lines of Homely Rainbow, above the yellow lines of Homely Rainbow. For long term, for medium term, it's bullish. It's bullish, and then the purple line is turning upward. Okay, so for at least the short term, the pattern looks beautiful, right? The pattern looks beautiful for short term. Above, do we have resistance? We also can check the resistance above. Around what level the resistance is the biggest? Let me check the chip distribution. And we see that above, when the price go up in near future to reach $39.33, right? So that would be the strongest resistance. Strongest resistance for Pfizer. So if the price can break up that resistance level, then above then Pfizer can go up to a higher level, right? This is the strongest resistance between $39.33 and $39.93. Okay, once price in future can break up this resistance level, then we have greater potentiality for Pfizer. I believe if the news came out by the third week in November, and the result turned out to be optimistic and good news, and then no problem, the price can break up the resistance here. For short term now, let's say the first recycle, we said we know the resistance level in future, right? And then for short term, if you already bought, all right, you have already bought this share, you can keep holding. You can keep holding until the price reach the resistance level I mentioned just now, okay? And then for if you haven't bought yet, right? So you after you see the first recycle, you are thinking that is there opportunity? Yeah, you can try, and don't forget a half level of the first recycle candle, which is a long bullish bar, right? I mentioned for long bullish bar, you always can check the half level to set it as your stop loss level. If you buy in near future, a drop below the level, half of the long bullish bar, you stop loss. If it remain above the half level, you can keep holding until the price reach the resistance levels I mentioned. This is for short term, how to deal with Pfizer, and also we combine with the news, right? So we for short term, if you want to try, you can try, and then for long term, we need to see how the news turned out to be in November, the third week in November. Okay, the result of the safety of the vaccine. Okay. So that's for Pfizer, which is worth our attention. And the other one is a Singapore stock I want to talk about, which is DBS. Okay, so for DBS, why I want to talk about DBS now? Because we see now DBS back to the white lines of Homely Rainbow, right? So white lines now is the strongest resistance because it represents the long-term trend, right? It's the strongest resistance. But if the price break up the white lines of Homely Rainbow, it would be what we call the birth of dark horse, right? Means long-term bullish reversal. if the US market, just now we mentioned, really turns out to be quite bullish, still quite bullish in future, for in the long run, right? The general direction for the US upward, then Singapore market, and if it really follow the suit, follow the performance of the US markets, and then for our STI, also the future is bright. In the long run, the direction would be upward, right? And then for such blue chips as DBS, right? So it will be the same direction as the index. If STI up in the long run, then our DBS also would be up in the long run. Okay, so means if really in future DBS break up the white lines turn upward, means for DBS, this is the long-term bullish reversal. For those who pray for medium-term to long-term trading, this might be a perfect timing to consider, let's say, establish your position, open your position, right? Open position for medium-term to long-term. But now we still are waiting for the price break up the white lines, and here we see actually we have a Tai Chi signal, right? So this yellow Tai Chi signal here. After the yellow Tai Chi signal, the price unable to break up the high of the yellow Tai Chi, right? So the yellow Tai Chi and the white lines of homely rainbow, they both are acting as strong resistance. But if in future the price really break up the white lines above the high price of the yellow Tai Chi, in future, if there is another correction and touch the level, it would be no longer resistance, rather support. If in future the price gets support, turn upward again, means this is the double confirmation of the long-term bullish reversal. For either short-term trading or for medium-term to long-term trading, by then DBS would give us greater opportunities or greater possibilities. Okay, so we need to keep a close eye on DBS. It might mean opportunity coming in future. Maybe we cannot buy now because for short-term, it's already very high. For short-term, first risk, short-term buy points. After that, the price already very high, very far away from the first risk candle, the price, right? Means now we definitely would not chase after the rally. And faced with strong resistance, possible that maybe the price might drop first, the circle might turn white first, and after some correction, next time, if price really break up the white lines and the yellow Tai Chi signal, and then in future we have another recycle, and meanwhile, if the big boys already appear and increase, then that would be the safest to either trade for short term or maybe open position for medium term to long term. Okay, so this is the two shares worth attention I have intended to share with you, right? And then I think now it's about the final part of my live broadcast. It's about individual stock diagnosis. What stocks you'd like to diagnose? I have seen one friend already put one stock very earlier, and then I will diagnose this DDOG first. And how about others? Do you have some other stocks to diagnose? If you don't have, then I will just diagnose this one stock alone. If you still have some other stocks, you can write them down, okay? Or you can WhatsApp me privately. So okay, the first one is DDOG, right? So DDOG. Oh, okay. So for this one, firstly, we check MultiColor Dragon. We realize that this is a very good stock to pick and to keep monitoring and trade, to consider trading. And then after we have picked a good stock, and then the next problem is when to buy and when to sell, right? For medium-term trading, okay? So for medium-term trading, after this long-term sideways here, and the price even drop below the yellow lines a bit, and when the price go back above the yellow lines again, and it's the first recycle. Actually, this is a good timing to buy for medium-term trading and also for short-term, right? Because short-term first recycle, right? After that, for short-term trading, you follow the red and white circle, first the white circle, sell for short-term, right? And then after that, the circle turn red the following day, right? So this means another buy point. But here, pay attention, here we have a yellow Tai Chi signal, right? So we need to wait and see if the price unable to break up the high price of the yellow Tai Chi signal. This might mean the beginning of a significant correction. In near future, the price might drop significantly. So means this one is now is not that safe. We have some danger alert signal. This is the yellow Tai Chi danger alert signal. But if the price can break up the high price of the yellow Tai Chi signal, means still quite safe. You can keep holding. So this share, if you have bought previously here, right? So you still can keep a close eye on it. If in near future the price confirmed below the low price of the yellow Tai Chi signal, you can consider decrease position first for medium-term trading, right? Decrease position to see how significant the correction can be. Our principle is, as long as the correction remain above the yellow lines of homely rainbow, we can keep holding for medium term. We want to decrease position here. The reason is to secure our profit for this rally, right? So if after the end of the correction here, we can find another opportunity to increase position again at a lower position, right? This is for medium term. For short term trading, you have followed the red and white circle, right? So you have bought here, you have sold away here, and if the second day, when the circle turn red again, you have bought here, you need to pay very close attention here, because currently we see the price unable to hit a new high here. For short term, it's weak, it's turning weak, unless in near future the price can really break up the high price of the yellow Tai Chi, then means it would be quite dangerous for short term trading. Better leave first. But now we are waiting, right? Because currently the price is still around the low price of the yellow Tai Chi. The price didn't really drop below the low of the yellow Tai Chi, right? Because you see the yellow Tai Chi signal the following day, a open low but close high, higher, the close price higher than the low price of the yellow Tai Chi. The following day, although after a open, a drop, but the close price is still around the low price of the yellow Tai Chi. So the market hasn't yet chosen the direction. But in near future, if the price drop below the low price of the yellow Tai Chi, for short-term trading, we better leave first. And your final stop loss level, your final defense line would be the circle turn color to white. If you want to take some risks and want to keep holding for the near future, still can do. But if the circle here turn white, you need to leave for sure. Definitely you need to leave for short-term trading. But if in near future the price break up the high price of the yellow Tai Chi, you can keep holding for short-term trading. Okay, so this is about DDOG, right? The next one is about SGX, right? So SGX. Okay, so you don't have to diagnose SGX every day. I think I already shared with you my point of view about SGX in last Friday and also last Thursday, right? And you can keep monitoring the indicators here, right? Okay, so someone else, do you have some other stocks diagnosed? If no other stocks, I will call it the end today. And if for others you want to diagnose some other stocks, maybe can talk with me privately after the live broadcast, okay? But before we finish, don't forget to follow me on Facebook, my public page, right? So you can search on Facebook at Homely Emily and get my profile picture here. And also this is the name of my public page called Trade with Homely Chart. You can like my page and enter my public page so that you will see all my previous videos and you will get latest notice about my upcoming events and videos, right? And if you like this video, don't forget to give me a thumb up, and also don't forget to share with your friends. Okay, so your encouragement will be my biggest promotion. Looking forward to seeing you tomorrow. Bye bye.